Okay, Bismillah Rahman Rahim, and we are live for another session of Transformation 360. So this time I have a very special guest. Why special? Because I have seen this person grow from 2016 when she did the Funworks Trainers Training to NLP when she did, I think हम दोनों ने साथ Master Practitioner किया था 2018 के अंदर. फिर we worked together for 7-8 months and then she moved on for her husband's company. ये सारी चीज़ों के बारे में हम बात करेंगे. So I'm really excited to share this side of her because people know Naureen as a different person. They have seen her as a trainer, they have seen her as a team lead, but they've never seen this side of her, how her journey actually started. So Naureen will start with a very simple question. I met you at Funworks Train the Trainer. That was in 2016.
Yes.
And that's where personal development journey started. So let's start. Why did you choose a career in personal development? Why you decided that program at that time?
Yeah, actually, over my life, I've been very multidisciplinary. I would explain that because as a child, I wanted to be an astronaut. Then I grew up studying science. Then in science, not biology, computer science. Then I went to a business school. There I studied marketing. And when I started marketing and I got a job in marketing, I was a little like marketing wasn't that fascinating for me when I was doing a job in the branding side. So I was like, okay, fine. Branding in Pakistan is either what the owner of the organization is saying or maybe what is coming from the region you just posed that. So I was a little disheartened there. So somebody recommended me, why don't you do HR? And I was like, okay, fine. I'll try HR. You're good with mathematics. You'll do great with compensation and benefits. And I was like, great. And when I studied compensation and benefits, I got a C. And I was like, oh, what to do now? But while I was doing my master's MBA, and I did my 4 courses in marketing, and that was when I took the decision, okay, fine, I'll do HR also. So I studied 4 extra courses, and I did my HR double majors in MBA. And I studied this one course that was learning and development. Now, that course, I think, is my turning point, that when I understood how you actually work into restructuring processes, how you can actually develop a person, what exactly is the process of personal development or maybe improving a team's synergy, that really clicked. And I was like, okay, fine, this is maybe the area I want to develop in. And if I just recap and backtrack, I still remember my one friend, because I wasn't a reader. I never used to read novels or anything extra than my course books. I was such a nerd. So she was like, after my life, read Alchemist, Paulo Coelho's. And I was like, no, I don't want to read it. And that was 2009. And she was after my life read. And when I went through that book, I was very fascinated. And I eventually started liking all of these things that are towards positive focus, personal development, improving yourself, changing, transformation. And in 2012, another friend of mine gifted me The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. So I studied that. And that book actually is something that talks about techniques. So I am such a person, I experiment on myself. So I started considering myself as the lab rat, as I like to call it. So I started testing things from that book on myself, and they work. Because there is this one notion which is called belief, which is very strong. Now, as a human being, human mind, it really matters what your belief system is like. And if you believe in something that it can happen for you, you make it happen for yourself. You translate all of those things for yourself. And that is how I perhaps landed in this industry, learning and development. And soon after I did my MBA, somehow, because Farhad was also associated with us, because I was working with another friend, and we had this organization. It was a social enterprise, and Farhad was our advisor. So Farhad happened to get me on his team. And when I got on his team, the first assignment was I had to transcribe a session, a training program, a 3-day training program, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I was writing what is being taught. Like what the trainer is saying, what Farhad is saying, and what the audience is doing. Everything I was transcribing. So there I learned more about positive focus, about situational leadership by Ken Blanchard, and numerous other concepts of improving teams. It was a leadership development session. So I think all of these bits and pieces of my transformation, my life's journey have played the role into making me what I am today. Alhamdulillah.
Wow, that's fascinating. Okay, I didn't know about this. ये process मुझे भी नहीं पता था कि इतना बैठ जाता है. So
because
now
2016, you mentioned 2016, but
Yeah.
but the journey actually started way back.
Okay.
It was 2009. In 2016, I still remember you actually. I'm really sorry. I'm cutting. You mentioned that I did TTT. So everybody at Funworks, because the moment I entered Funworks, I started working on streamlining the projects and working on content, developing the course outlines and everything. So everybody was after me, you work good on content, why don't you start delivering? Why don't you become a trainer? And I was like, no, how can I become a trainer? And I had my own issues and my limiting beliefs, I would say. But then again, something happened in a moment, and a colleague, because we used to work in terms of relationship managers also with clients, a colleague came back and said, I've booked your assignment and you were training so and so company. And I asked him, when is the program? We are standing on Friday. And he said, Wednesday. And I was like, what? So it was emotional intelligence program, and I did it. I was prepared, of course. I rehearsed, prepared, and a lot of things were there in the back end, and that's how it happened.
Interesting. Okay, so now you've understood the trainer journey. You've understood why you came into this field. Now, so since you did NLP before me, how did that decision came into being? How did you hear it from someone? Because for me, I knew NLP because I was reading a book or usme ye tha. And in fact, you won't believe in that Train the Trainer, someone mentioned about NLP as well. तो उस वक्त मेरे दिमाग में ये फ्लिप था कि ये कुछ होता है, मुझे बिल्कुल भी नहीं पता था. But for me, I found out in 2018. You knew it before. So वो decision कैसे लिया कि यार मुझे NLP करना है?
Achha, Train the Trainer mein you're saying that somebody mentioned, I have zero recall of that. And till the time I got to know about NLP, because a colleague mentioned it that I want to do it, I didn't know anything about NLP. Because ट्रेनिंग में हम लोग जब कंटेंट बनाते हैं या अपना एक प्रोग्राम सेट कर रहे होते हैं, उसमें बहुत सारे एलिमेंट्स ऐसे होते हैं, दे एक्चुअली रूट बैक इनटू द concept of NLP, the study of NLP. कुछ उसके elements utilize होते हैं training में. A lot of trainers actually utilize those techniques and tools. But I never heard about NLP. When my colleague spoke to me about it, so I got really fascinated. I said, okay, fine, personal development, improving your communication skills, being more structured, managing your state, all of those things were there. But when we did the analysis of where to do it from and how to do it, so it was like a lot of travel and lodging cost was also there, because we were looking at another provider in US. But we eventually decided that we should do it from Pakistan. But we shared the idea with our boss then, Farhad. And someone is also our network buddy, NLP from NLP network. Someone and I, we went with our pitch and we were like, NLP karna hai. And we were asked, kyun karna hai? And then we did another research of ours that hame kyun karna hai? Matlab, okay, fine, it's good, it's great. Lekin aapne kyun karna hai? So we then created a pitch as an individual, both of us. And we then again submitted our pitch that we have to do it. So we were... We had multiple options when it came to doing from Pakistan. However, we were recommended to do it from some international provider. However, the moment we got an idea, we were communicated that Arslan Larican company is also providing. So we shared that with Farhad, and immediately we got a response from him. Okay, if it's Arslan doing it, then you can do it. So that was a chance that we got. And I'm like, okay, fine, now we're doing it. So we did it. And my batch was third batch. Someone did in second and I did in third batch. It was, I think, October or September. I can't exactly recall. But soon after, my wedding was scheduled in November. And after 20 days was Master Practitioner. So my Practitioner, Master Practitioner was like 3 months away. And yeah, it has been a beautiful journey from practitioner to master practitioner. And if I can say how I have developed through these programs, TTT, yes, it added a lot. With NLP, I would say my ability to uh, curate content, my ability to structure my communication patterns, my sentences, and all in all, my ability to communicate ideas with other people, everything has improved. And the moment I did master practitioner, uh, it's like going from 20% expertise after practitioner. It's like master practitioner is another 80%. It's like a leap, and your graph goes like zoom. So it was a fascinating journey for me. So yeah, that's how it added.
मुझे मुझे एक चीज fascinate करी because you saw Arslan when he just started the NLP program. My batch was 6th one. Your batch was the 3rd one. What was that experience? And I understand हमने physical batch पहले किया था. What was that experience? What did you, because it was 6 days as well, 6 दिन की training is a long day training. How was that training? मुझे पहले इस चीज के बारे में बताओ, and then we'll move to master practitioner. How was that experience?
I would say that AL&Co has been a custodian of transformation and empowerment for all. And the moment I walked into that room, a lot of people from diverse backgrounds were sitting. And we as an individual can very conveniently say, oh, zindagi badi mushkil hai. But as much as I have known this network, I got to know people who are coming from lives that are like, you can't even think about it. And I've seen those people transform from being like a closed person to being that vocal, like having a voice of their own and transforming entirely, mashallah, each one of them. The program was, it starts off with a very nice, and you think, okay, fine, it's just another program. However, it becomes a journey. It's like you are being changed cell to cell, neuron to neuron. There is like a reprogramming happening. And the moment you start off, and after those, now online, because when I did it, it was 6 days. Now online, it is 8 days, I think, if I'm not wrong. 10 days practitioner. So a person starting practitioner and a person who completes those 10 days, it's not the same person. This is what I have observed in my batch. This is what I have observed in every batch that I repeated. And this I also observed when I had been working with AL&Co. So yeah.
So practitioner का हो गया. The decision to do masters, then 6-day training is a long training. Then 8 days का masters करना. How did you decide that decision कि मुझे masters करना है? पहली चीज. दूसरी चीज, as a trainer, because a lot of people ask me this question, that we are from the learning and development industry. हमारे लिए NLP practitioner and master practitioner कितना value add करेगा? Can you please also give me some insights on that?
Yeah, while I did my practitioner, for me it was great. I did that. You have that extensive test that you have to submit. When we were doing it in the classroom, it used to be like you have to submit it on the last day. We were timed. We were pressured. It's like very it's like a very pressurized journey of change and transformation, where you have to take your own responsibility and take charge and get it done. When I got to know the difference between practitioner and master practitioner, and when I got to know about the contents of it, the baseline of it, I was fascinated, of course. And I would say there wasn't anything that was listed that is part of master practitioner that made me choose master practitioner. The actual reason would be the amount of change and transformation I went through doing my practitioner. I was ready that yes, master practitioner is going to add more, and I needed that. I took that decision for myself, because if a program, it's a subject, it's a study, yeah, NLP. If level 1 of that study, a subject has changed me so much, imagine the level 2. So that is something that I was ready for, and I went in. The other part of your question, how it can help trainers. Now, I come from an industry, working in that industry for roughly 5 to 6 years. I still work as a trainer, a freelance basis in communication skills and emotional intelligence. I saw a very big change in my outlines, the way I process information now, the way I craft my sessions now. It's nothing against anyone. However, we tend to, as an industry, perhaps we tend to work along the lines of giving information just about the what. Doing NLP taught me how to take your audience not just from what, but also on how and what if.
Yeah.
So now
Okay.
when I prepare my session, I make sure that my audience is empowered in a manner that the moment they walk out of this program, it's not just fluff, it's something that they can go and implement.
They can practice there and then, walk
They
the
can
talk.
practice there and
Yeah.
then. Exactly. Certain tools, maybe some authentic study based techniques that they can make use of and transform themselves.
Okay, so now I know the practitioner and the master practitioner. I was there in the master practitioner with you as well. Uske baad, a lot of things changed for me as an individual. For me, this was the work that I wanted to do.
Indeed, I know
What,
that.
yeah, what happened with you? Because during the, and that has happened with a lot of people. You won't believe jitne zyada log apna career switch, and that is by experience of my graduates that I've seen. In the
Yeah.
master's program, they make a career switch. They said, okay, now my career will go in this direction.
Yeah.
What changed after that? You were doing trainings as well. What additional things happened? और उसके बाद you made a very big decision to work with the team as well.
Yeah.
ये सब कैसे हुआ? I mean, why did you decide that? Because you were doing really good. ऐसा नहीं है कि you needed something more. You were doing really good. और we all know अगर आप training industry के अंदर हो, आपके पास NLP आ जाता है, your business magnifies. Your works become
Indeed.
better. Your
Yeah.
awareness level is there. So ये decision कैसे लिया? So talk more about that.
About that, when I got married, I had something set. Like in my life, I've been very structured in a manner that after this age, I want to do this maybe, and after this age, I want to do this. So while I got married, I had this thing planted in my head. 1 year down the shadi, I'll leave everything and I'll do something of my own. Maybe I'll just add on with Zia's business. Zia is my husband, if somebody might think who Zia is. So I started with brand. I'll have to start with brand because that was decided. So while November came in, I was planned to exit from Funworks and get on with brand makers. However, I got this one very great opportunity that how AL&Co works, and it was very easy for me to embed that structure.
Yeah.
Okay, fine, I have to do my own work. I can manage this also. So I picked it up. Why? Because for me, it was like a brand, a course, a person, a group of people, because you all were there, has helped me transform and change. What would it be like to be in that organization? For me, that was something that I really wanted to experience also. So for me, it was like a golden opportunity. Okay, fine, I'm getting a chance to enter this organization. Let's see how it goes. So when I entered, and indeed, in those 7 months, you are witness, AL&Co has changed a lot. Because let's give its due credit to Mr. COVID also, that we just picked up our structure and we converted it into online. And I remember I used to send reminders to Arslan, what is the board saying? How can we certify online? So we ASAP we just mobilized our learnings and licenses of certifying online. And because of course it was a global calamity, so the board made the due changes and we launched, alhamdulillah. And indeed, apart from that, even not just COVID, but how I've seen this entire team transform, this organization, not just not just the team, but also the graduates that it manages. Mashallah, we're like over 400 now.
400 plus, yeah.
400 plus graduates, mashallah. So the network is very strong, and it's like it's a very brilliant energy around you daily. The kind of conversations that come on the group, the kind of change that other people are going through in the network, and you have witnessed that. It really motivates you. Okay, fine. Even if you are in a dip, you will think, okay, fine, what am I doing? I need to put some progress report also. So it's a great place to be in. Yeah.
Yeah, Naureen, एक सवाल मेरे पास. I think this is the question that is asked a lot. I've done the physical training, and physical training का कोई there's no alternate to that. Then we switched to the online training. See, for me, I was a bit skeptical whether online would be that effective or not. I had a lot of questions in my head.
Okay.
How about you? Because you also did in June. I think हमारा first एक साल होने वाला, एक साल हो जाएगा technically. अभी भी हम जून में. So what was that thing? क्योंकि वही क्या impact वही था. Because I remember Arslan changed the content in June and July online के लिए. A lot of interventions, the way they were done, वो change हो चुकी थी और process बहुत change हुआ था. So for you, then switching it to online, who as a trainer, as a practitioner as well, as a team member, how was that? Can you explain me that or shed some light on this?
As a team member, so I would say it was a task for us to actually take the entire thing online. About going from classroom to online, I would say the efficacy. One thing I recall it like very explicitly. We got this response from the first batch we ran, and I was very happy to hear that. We got one response from one of the participants that classroom में इतना ध्यान नहीं दे पाते थे, थोड़े से शायद distracted रहते थे, online में बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब सुकून से पढ़ा गया है and focus के साथ पढ़ा गया है. So I was really happy there. And I would say there are different kinds of perspectives to it. Some people also think कि नहीं online में वो impact नहीं आएगा शायद, but again, I would root like piggyback on the idea of belief that if you think you can achieve it online, then yes, even timeline therapy is faster online than it is face to face. And if I can talk from my experience, I have been providing coaching sessions like on call. That's not even video. On call, because language patterns work that way. And if you have someone who's ready for change, that yes, I'm taking charge of my life, I want to change myself, it doesn't matter it's on call, it doesn't matter it's on online, or it doesn't matter it's face to face. I would say that. So it's not about the program being effective, it's about how ready are you to make it effective for yourself. Yeah.
Rightly put. Because ये सवाल मेरे पास बहुत common and still people are a bit concerning, and ये मेरा एक बड़ा important है, and thank you so much for explaining that. Now, Naureen, after that, अब ये सारी journey होगी, physical program attend कर लिया, online program attend कर लिया. How your personal life and your professional life? You see, COVID was still there. हम सब घर पे थे, and we are used to doing trainings. हमारे 10 20 days training में जाते थे. वो सब change आ गया. A lot of things change. How did NLP help you in your personal life, in your professional life, when you made a decision to switch once again? You switched hats again. So ये सब के बारे में बताओ. How did that impact? Did it make it easier? Did you ask certain questions from yourself? Because NLP is all about asking questions. कोई ऐसा सवाल अपने आप से पूछा जिसकी वजह से change आया? So I want to know about that.
Yeah, I would say ever since I got married, life happened. And if just for any other person living at your parents' house and being in that life where you are still a teenager, no matter what your age is, and everything is being like taken care of, the moment you get married, you have a lot of responsibilities and you have to take care of yourself. And thankfully, doing NLP helped me with managing the dynamism of life, because everything was changing with lightning speed for me. And I wouldn't say, if somebody watching this might be thinking NLP is gonna just make everything a bed of roses. No, it doesn't happen like this. However, it will indeed make you so powerful that you will be able to manage it. Because I wouldn't say that there were zero moments where I wasn't overwhelmed or I wasn't feeling a little bit doubtful. But yes, because I knew how human minds work, how certain techniques that maybe I need to amplify on, like increase my incantation or manage my manifestations, or revisit my goals that I have set for myself, or identify certain patterns which maybe after marriage you are living with another person. So understanding his patterns and my patterns, and where there might be some misalignment, communicating it with each other, all of that helped. And I would, Alhamdulillah, I would thank NLP also for that. And I think it has been a journey that without NLP would have been very devastating. I think with NLP it has been very structured. So if I can, the kind of responses that I get from people who knew me before and who know me now, they tell me that your confidence has gone up by times 4. Oh, you work with words so nicely. And my coaching clients come back to me telling me, oh, we did coaching clients, they work in a manner sometimes that it fizzles out for them, and they leave the sessions. Yeah, so 3 sessions down the line, but coming back after 1 year and telling me, okay, we didn't complete, but still those 3 sessions were so magnificent. I still feel that we worked on emotions and I went from 2 to 6. And I said, yes, if we would have completed, maybe that could have been a 9. And restarting that. And I would really want to share this one experience here, that NLP has taught me, because I'm a communication skills junkie, I would say, a fan. So there was this one client who called me up after they couldn't get through this overseas position for themselves, and they called me for another position. That, hey, today's my interview, but I flunked the last one. Maybe you can help. What should I do? And I said, all right, what's the problem? And they told me that maybe my mind is not ready. My unconscious mind is not ready to relocate. And that is the reason I'm flunking at it. And I said, all right, what else is the issue? And they said, in the previous one, the interviewer wasn't really impressed by my answers. And I was like, okay, which one do you want to work on? The unconscious mind not being ready, which perhaps again is a decision, or a concern improvement area where you can perhaps improve your responses. And when we dissected the issue, we understood the entire pattern, how they are utilizing the interviewing ki star technique hoti hai, how they're utilizing that technique, the kind of responses they are generating, and what possible perspectives that could be forming in the interviewer's mind. So when we dissected all of that, they understood the loopholes. And we changed a few responses there. And they got back to me later that day. The interview went fine. Yeah, great. And after maybe 10 days, they sent me a screenshot. They got the job.
Wow. Okay.
So,
That's
yeah. So linguistics is neuro-linguistic program. The beach mein linguistics hi hai. So I think working with words, this is a very magical process. The moment you identify that, your ability to, because we as human beings, we are also communicating with ourselves. We are also communicating with other people at all times. Like the mind, if not with another person, is talking to myself only. And I'm telling things to myself, and that's being embedded in my unconscious mind day in, day out. That's the food that I'm giving to myself. So what would it be like if you become very conscious about it, and you know what to tell yourself, or maybe even improve your communications with another person? So yes, it has helped me professionally. 10 on 10, it has helped me majorly in my personal life. I would say 11 on 10.
Interesting. मैं एक चीज मेरे पास, and this is the question जो कि मुझसे बहुत ज़्यादा पूछा गया, and that's one of the reasons I've invited you.
All right.
The myth that people ask me that husband wife can't work together.
Oh.
Okay, and you made that decision, and
yeah.
See, I've seen you, the amount of growth as I've worked with you, the amount of growth and the relationship I've had with you. I worked under you. Then uske baad as a colleague, I found out you changed a lot, but you were able to manage it so well. And still, I can see you did really good with the company. ये decision कैसे आया? Because people ask me कि नहीं, ये तो एक belief बन गया, limiting belief है You can't work
यार I एक तो limiting belief individual infraadi तौर पर है, individual level पर है, and it's also a generalization, because I kid you not, the moment I got married, because उससे पहले तो I didn't take that decision. However, it was somewhere in my unconscious mind that I have to do that. I have to work with Zia, and together we can change the organization, very much so. But while we were deciding on that idea, we were bouncing it off with each other, because Zia and I have been two very vision oriented people. Like, even while we were deciding to get married, we had a list what I want to do in life, what he wants to do in life. We just bounced off that list together. 50% plus tha compatibility ratio. We said, okay, fine, let's get together. So when it was about deciding, a lot of people were actually those believers of that generalization ke you cannot work together as a couple. Yeah. So a lot of people were giving us that input. You cannot work together. Oh, there are too many fights, vagera vagera. But it was the need of the game, I think. And meanwhile, irrespectively, at the back end, I had been working on strategies and presentations on content, etc., different domains. But when COVID came in, while I was working both with AL and Co and brand makers, we at brand makers in June and July and August I left, I guess. Yeah, so we had to reconstruct the organization, introduce two more domains in the business. Now that required more time. So then I had to take the decision to just park everything else, plug in there, and maybe in parallel restart again with my training and coaching, which I have already achieved, alhamdulillah. So the goals set have been achieved. So while people were telling us, we had our own working also. Zia and I sat down, we decided, okay, these are the domains. It really matters, Ali, when you're working with another person. It really matters how you do it. It's not just about what, and how you understand the another person's expectations list, what they want out of the collaboration. Yeah. And I would say I never left my profession. A lot of people, perhaps, if I would have been perhaps in a position where I left everything and gotten into it and changed my profession entirely, maybe I would have been in a very critical position. Maybe I don't know. I haven't gone through it, but my mindset was like, I am entering this as a consultant, restructuring the organization, setting up processes, because there were two new domains. I had to handhold and train certain people who will be taking care of those domains. So that was required. Now, coming back to that one question, while people were telling us about that generalization, so I think there are a lot of people who are working together, and a lot of people who do not believe in the idea, so they don't work together. And it's not just about husband and wife. It's about anyone, not even in a relationship, like brothers working together, or even two unknown strangers working in a team together, or two business partners being like totally different people, strangers, they got to know and they got together. There are arguments, there are opposing opinions, there are issues, there are disagreements. It happens. It's just that how you manage to take it further. You can either, even not just being in a relationship, in a couple relationship and running a business, you can choose to just feed the toxicity, or you can choose to talk it out, decide, and then take that decision and stand by that decision, never talk about that issue again. Yeah. So I think there are certain patterns and rules that we as a couple followed, and that helped for us. That helped us. That worked for us. So I think that is something I would say.
That's very interesting. And now I'm 100% sure that couples will now contact you that we want to start a business. Can you please coach us? Can you help us design that process?
Most welcome.
So
most welcome.
I think the last question, or the second last question I want to ask: how can people get in touch with you? Because I know a lot of trainers would get in touch with you. I know a lot of companies would get in touch with you. How can they get in touch with you? And what do you see? Because I know you're very picky in terms of selecting clients, and I respect it. I respect that you're 100% sure, Ali, this is the client I want. And that's the amount of certainty I really want in my graduates. All the graduates of Arslan Larikan company, I want them, they should know, okay, this is the client that I want to work on. So how can they get in touch with you, and who should get in touch with you?
Yeah, anyone who is who has some plan doesn't mean that it has to be like a very well structured plan, but someone with maybe I shouldn't use the word plan. I would say someone with a decision that they want to change. It can be a team, it can be an organization, it can be an individual, it can be a couple, or just the individual person getting in touch with me. And I if I can just be very specific, people who decide for change and they have come in contact with me, they have achieved it for themselves. Even people having issues in their relationship, they couldn't get their spouse in the relationship coaching because they were facing certain difficulties, but eventually they worked on themselves with me, and I was just a facilitator in the process. And the results were such, mashallah, because they came to me with a decision, Naureen, I want to achieve this. And I asked them literally, really, how badly do you want it? And then I very badly, I want it. And without the relationship coaching, even the person only worked on themselves, and they came back to me with this input that, hey, I couldn't get my spouse into relationship coaching with you, but I worked on myself, and I'm coming to you with this feedback that my relationship has improved.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, now that's amazing.
Yes. That's someone with a decision should contact me, and you can always contact me at facebook.com/Naureen Ansari1. And perhaps if you do not find me, you know where to find me. You can just contact ABNLP and they'll route you to me. I think that's about it.
Yeah. That's about it. Okay, so because हमने start personal development से किया था, so we need to end it with personal development as well. What's the future for Naureen? क्या आपके दिमाग में कोई course है? You know what, Ali, that's the course that I want to do. This is who I see myself in the next 2 years, 5 years. You know, so what's the future for you now, as in terms of personal development?
In terms of personal development, because when you say what is the future for Naureen, there's like it's a long way to go. I have miles to go before I sleep. Wali baat hai. So in terms of personal development, I would say I still have to. I've already spoken to you. I have to repeat my practitioner and master practitioner, yeah. And then I'm scheduled for a hypnosis in January, if that happens, inshallah. And meanwhile, I'm also working on certain psychology-related diplomas and all for myself. So yeah, that's there. Plus, I'm extensively working on transforming my own organization. Plus, I'm working on another organization. I'm developing certain courses for team coaching. So all of that is there. So a lot is happening. A lot is there in Naureen's future.
Yes, yeah. So that's about it. I think that's what I wanted to know. So for everyone that's watching, you might be wondering, where did she do the NLP program? Kahan se kiya tha? And something like that. Because this is a question that I got in the comment. I'll share that with everyone. Our practitioner program is happening in the month of June, 15th of June till 24th of June. So now you need to write it down because you're coming to revise it. All right. And okay, this is a very interesting part. Once you sign up, once you invest with us, you can attend the program for the next 5 years. You don't have to pay again. So this is the catch that Naureen is now cashing in, that she's revising the content. The master's program is happening on 3rd of July till 15th of July. It's a 13-day program. So that's happening June and July. And this is the best time to do the program. Why? Because we are again going in lockdown. After it, everything closes, and that's the time the program starts. So you have the time to make the change for yourself. And trust me on this. Every single graduate of mine have had certain questions. जो कि मैंने Naureen से पूछा कि online में क्या change आएगा, and she summed up really well. So my question to you is, would you take that action or not? Yeah. On that note, I will end this conversation. Thank you so much, Naureen, for being here. I think you summed it up really well. Every question, I really like how you structured it. and
Thank
use
you
the
so much.
structured
That's
version
that's
of
what I do for a living.
Yes. So thank you so much for that. If anyone wants to contact Naureen, I'll share her details in the comment section. You could do that. If you want to know more about the practitioner program, share the sign up link in the comment section as well. Just click on the link, share your details, and our team will contact you. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Naureen, once
Thank you,
again.
everyone.
Take care of
Thank you,
yourself
Ali.
and Allah Hafiz.